And the memory of watching the blood go down the drain and it staining my hands haunted me for a very long time. I had a pretty ordinary childhood at first, but then my dad started to drink and chaos became my normal. I often overheard my father tell my mother, "You can't handle her. Krista is too out of control." I began to feel like I wasn't worthy of love. These feelings stayed with me for a long time. My parents got separated. They seemed happier apart. It wasn't until I came home from work one day that my dad was at our apartment. My parents told me that they were getting back together. I attempted suicide for the first time. I didn't trust my parents anymore. I didn't trust God anymore. I met a guy named Alex. He was addicted to painkillers. So I started to spin out of control, hanging out with people I met through him. I started spending every dollar I had on drugs. I remember one time my mother, she was crying because I was begging her for $20. And once the money was gone, I just sat in my car and cried. Earlier that month, an Army recruiter had called me and asked me if I ever thought about joining the Army. I made the excuse that I think I'm too short and I'm 4'11". He said, "Good news, you're just barely tall enough." I chose my job as military police because I was ready for a full change. I went off to basic training and it wasn't easy. I spent 5 months at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. I graduated at the top of my class and was only there for a few short months before I was sent to Iraq. To go from doing whatever I wanted to do just a few, months before to now I'm at war. We were running about 16 to 18-hour missions a day in Bakuba, Iraq, in the Diyala province. We were training the Iraqi police. About 6 months went by where we had to fight to get to the Iraqi police stations and to return back to the base. If we weren't getting hit by IEDs, we were in the middle of firefights. Once again, chaos just became my normal. On March 17th, 2007, our company had our first killed in action. Specialist Kaiser was shot by a sniper. April 23rd, 2007, our company experienced a second killed in action. Private First Class Jeffrey Avery. His truck was hit with an IED that ejected him from the vehicle. Smith had received shrapnel to her face. She came back to my room after she got done with medical. Her battle gear was covered in blood. So I grabbed it with a bar of ivory soap and went to the showers. And the memory of watching the blood go down the drain and it staining my hands haunted me for a very long time. Exactly a month later, my truck was hit with a suicide car bomb. The man that ran into my truck, I saw the whites of his eyes as he closed them and put his head to the steering wheel. It was like slow motion, but I had no time to react. My truck went flying into the air and landed into a brick wall. My sergeant yanked me out from the top hatch and threw me to the ground away from the flames. The idea of dying over there became so real. We made memorial videos for ourselves. It's pretty crazy to plan your own funeral. On November 30th, 2007, my whole world changed. I was driving and my truck was hit with explosive projectiles that flipped my truck into a canal. And then I yelled for my gunner, Sergeant Blair Emery, and he didn't respond. We called up a 911 medevac and they came and picked up Emery. I got checked out by medical and I had a pretty bad head injury. And I asked my sergeant, "Are we going to go see Emery?" And my platoon sergeant said, "Casey, Emery didn't make it." There's just no words to describe how it felt. And I replayed that day over and over again. I did return back home. I was awarded the Purple Heart. And I had been in a relationship while I was deployed, and we got married. I started working as a patrol on base, and I thought I had it together because I was working. I then moved to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, where I became an investigator. But my marriage was falling apart, and I was slowly falling apart too. I started having panic attacks, these intrusive thoughts. I just couldn't wrap my head around what I dealt with for 15 months. I realized I needed to get out of the Army. The VA started to give me pain meds. This was the first time I ever decided to shoot up. Quickly, I spent about $6,000 in 2 months. I had to explain to my husband, and it was very shameful. We then divorced, and I ran into Alex. He was still doing drugs. Here I was doing drugs. I found out that I was pregnant. My nose had been broken in one of our fights. And here comes this little miracle with red hair and blue eyes. But then immediately I felt fear. And how could I take care of him if I can't even take care of me? I started using drugs again. One night after getting high, I felt this overwhelming just doom. I grabbed Andrew and ran out of the house, ran up to my mother's house and knocked on the door. I panicked, and right before I blacked out, I just screamed out for Jesus to save my son because I felt like it was too late for me. And my mom found me and Andrew the next morning. I was arrested for child endangerment. I was looking at a minimum of an 8-year sentence. I chose to go to rehab, which is what brought me to Warrior Center for Women. I came in not really dealing with my problems for 10 years. The staff helped me to fight again. They reintroduced me to Jesus. I just wanted more and more to get to know him. I started feeling these struggles just fall off of me. I came into the center taking 30 pills a day, and now I only take 3 medications. I had the courage to face the things that had been hindering me for so long. The Warrior Center for Women definitely helped me to face PTSD and to put my faith in God that He could heal me. Post-traumatic stress disorder for me was paralyzing. I would play over and over in my head the day where I was wounded, the countless therapists and counselors that I saw over the years with no success. God is healing me. I fully believe that Jesus Christ is the answer to PTSD. I want to share that with everyone because it's completely changed my life. There's an epidemic of military and veterans who are committing suicide, and I want them to know that there is hope, that it's not in man, it's in Jesus. The peace that surpasses all understanding really stands out to me, and I'd been searching for it. I didn't even know I'd been searching for it. The side effects are joy and fulfilled promises. I feel like God met me where I was instead of me having to be perfect to come to Him. I needed that comfort, but also the extra push. I believe God helped me with baby steps, and He also showed up and showed out in my life. When I would seek Him with my whole heart, something drastic would change in me. I'd see a miracle. He was always faithful to me. He was patiently waiting for me to come back to Him. Now I talk to him like he is my Heavenly Father, but also like he's my friend. I laugh with him, I cry with him, and I find myself praying for others in need than just myself. My relationship with my mother has been restored. I will be in the process of having my son returned to me. My name is Krista Casey, and that was my war story.